So welcome. I see more people are joining. And if you guys think you're going to have background noise, feel free to mute your line. And I might, if I hear something that maybe somebody's not catching, I might go ahead and mute you as well. Don't be offended if I do that. But we will also save time at the end for questions. So we'll go till 8 o'clock with the stories or right around there. And then if you think you want to hang out and chat a little bit more about some of the information or ask questions that we can answer for you, we'll save some time for that as well. Okay. So I'm going to start off. I'll just introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm Rebecca Colby, and I'm a business leader in Shaklee, and you're going to hear from some other wonderful friends of mine who are also business leaders in Shaklee. And all that means is basically we have different promotional ranks in Shaklee, and starting at the promotional rank of director, that's when you kind of get that title of business leader and on up through the ranks. Okay, so that's what that means for those of you who might not be familiar. But we are just so happy that you're all here tonight, and just want to welcome you. We appreciate you spending some time with us just to look at our community. We have a wonderful growing community in Shaklee. The company's been around since the 1950s. So a lot of us have come in at different points until, up until the present time, and we'll share that in our stories. But since the company's been around for so long, there's been, lots of roots in the company, lots of, organizations and people and what we call our Shaklee family. And it really is that. I hope you'll get a small sense of that tonight in the stories that we're going to share, and we're just really thrilled for you guys to be here. So I'm going to attempt some technology stuff here. I'm going to share my screen so I can share just a little bit of a video with you that is called Work From Anywhere, and it'll show just a little bit about our company and what Shaklee is about. So can you see the video? Yes. Carrie, I can see you. Susan, okay, great. So I'm going to play the video, and again, go ahead and mute if you guys have background noise. And if you can't hear it, tell me right away. But
Shaklee offers people a way to make real money and get paid daily while working from anywhere. We have paid over $9 billion in commissions over 60 years to people just like you. With Shaklee, you earn money by helping people stay healthy. Known as pioneers in the nutrition industry, our founder invented the first multivitamin in the U.S. over 100 years ago, and we've been innovating ever since. We create products that are safe, proven, and guaranteed. It's something we call the Shaklee difference. Shaklee products undergo over 10,000 tests annually for quality, with every new botanical tested for over 350 contaminants. Our products are backed by over 100 clinical studies, and we hold more than 100 global patents and patents pending. Millions of people are living proof that our products work, from astronauts to medal-winning athletes, 146 total bronze, silver, and gold medals, to people throughout the world, just like you and your family. We're so confident our products work that we guarantee them unconditionally. If you're not satisfied with any Shaklee product, you can send it back to us for a full refund, even if the container is empty. Sharing our products is meaningful and rewarding. We offer what people want and need most today: proven products for health, immune support, and safe cleaning. In fact, our Get Clean product line has been featured on Oprah and includes a product you can use to disinfect your home. We also have proven products for the whole family in every major consumer category, including health, weight, beauty, sports, and more. Sharing our products is as simple as asking someone to replace what they already use with healthier and more effective options. With Shaklee, you also have the ability to start sharing and earning from your phone from the comfort of your house. We give you everything you need to get started. We provide you with your own personal website. We supply the inventory, and you can get paid by direct deposit to your bank account. How much you earn is up to you. The more you share, the more you earn. You can share a little and earn extra cash, or you can share a lot and be on your way to earning additional income with Shaklee. With Shaklee, you can grow a business by sharing and building a team. You can earn real money working from anywhere and sharing wellness for all. Why wait? Join us and start earning with Shaklee today.
Okay, let me stop that share. So I thought that would just be easy for me just to share with you guys, just to give you a little overview of what what Shaklee is about, especially for those of you who are not familiar at all. And again, welcome everybody. We're really happy you're here. So I'm just going to jump into my story, and then I'm going to introduce a couple of our teammates and friends in Shaklee that are going to share their stories, and just to kind of give you that, kind of overview of what might be possible for you and your family as well. So again, I'm Rebecca Colby, and I am a Shaklee kid. I was actually introduced to Shaklee from my parents. My mom's actually on the call tonight, and they found Shaklee in the 1970s before I was born, when my mom was having some pretty significant health issues. And her girlfriend said, have you ever heard of Shaklee? I think that might be able to help you. And my parents had never heard of Shaklee, but they were open to trying the products. And that's where it started. I was a Shaklee kid from my mom being pregnant with me, and just grew up with the products. Didn't really appreciate the gift that they really were, but I was a healthy kid growing up. Didn't really pay attention to that. My friends got to take sick days from school. I really didn't get that many of those. And it wasn't until I went to college that I kind of just left it behind. It was just kind of a slow thing I just never really thought about, because it was something I had taken for granted. And that went on for about 10 years. And when my husband David and I got married and we started our family, we have an almost 12-year-old and a just turned 10-year-old. And when our oldest was a baby, I was looking for safer cleaning products. And a few of my girlfriends that I knew through a MOPS group said, have you ever heard of Shaklee? Their cleaning products and their other products are so great. So that's really how it starts, right? Maybe that's why you're here tonight too, that somebody just said, have you ever heard of this? You might be interested, and to take a look. And so we started to use the cleaning products again. My mom was thrilled, and we loved them. And they were, so concentrated, so safe around our son. And my husband, who is a research scientist, he's a pharmacist, he's a chemist, he's a professor at our university here, and he works with the pharmacy school and the Natural Products Center here, working with dietary supplements and pharmaceuticals from natural products. And it was really David that started to look into the science and the depth and said, oh my goodness, we should be using these products. And so we did slowly start to use the products. Our family had many different health turnarounds, including from our premature son. I was not taking Shaklee when I was pregnant with our second. And so many things happened that, again, people started to ask me, gosh, you've lost weight, or your skin looks better. Or maybe my husband might say, your mood is a little bit better. What are you doing? And I said, well, have you ever heard of Shaklee? And that's really what it is. Just like, you're sharing a favorite movie or a restaurant recommendation or a recipe with a friend, it's really that simple. And so slowly and very organically, that's where my business started 10 years ago. I really never saw myself doing this, because before Shaklee, I was working as a board certified music therapist in private practice, something that I absolutely love, very passionate about that profession. It's a helping profession, a serving profession, but it took me out of the home, and we had just moved to a new state from California. We moved to Indiana when I was pregnant. So it didn't really make sense for me to start my practice there. I thought I'll wait and get used to this mom thing and make some friends and make some connections. And that really never happened, because what I started to find was my business with Shaklee, that was so slow in the beginning, because I really wasn't thinking as a business. It was something that started to grow wings and grow legs, and I saw as something that I could still serve and fulfill that need I had as a music therapist, but doing it alongside my infant son. And there are people in Shaklee that work full-time and have successful businesses, that work part-time and have successful businesses, or choose to be home or are home and have successful businesses. So I know there's a wide range of people on the call tonight. There really is something for everyone. And what we saw with this was, initially, this was going to be a product line I was adding on to my existing music therapy business. But again, like I said, it really took off in the last few years, and I really saw the business side. So some of the wonderful benefits that it's given to my family is, number one, it's taken the edge off my husband, who is the breadwinner in our family, as it's replaced my music therapy practice income, and I'm able to give back. I love setting giving goals instead of financial goals. Sometimes that sets better with people, setting a giving goal. So I'm able to take a percentage of my income each month and give back, whether it be to church or charities or different things like that. I love doing that. It's really wonderful. And one of our speakers tonight, Chris Coben, is about to do the MS bike ride again. She's very inspiring. So I used some of my money last month to donate to her cause for that, you know, so different things like that. Yeah, so, and then the other things that the Shaklee business has blessed us with really is the side benefits. We have a Shaklee car bonus that we've been earning on for the last 5 years, and that's been a blessing. It replaced a car that was getting on its last leg and very old. And this is something that the company pays for each month, the car that we've picked out. We've gone on Shaklee trips. We've been speakers, invited speakers at, I was counting today, 5 different trips in different states that we were flown to and taken care of on those trips. We've also been at the California trip for new directors, where we are really taken care of and at the headquarters of the company in Pleasanton, California. And then we've been on some international trips as well, Playa del Carmen and Cabo, things like that, where Shaklee rolls out the red carpet. But that was all just a side benefit of helping and serving other people that I really, really have been appreciative of, okay? So I wanted to just share a little bit of what the business has done for us. I know Angie's going to share a little bit more about the personal development and the friendships and the community, so I'm going to let her share a little bit on that. But the last thing I want to say, and I think Chris might share on this a little bit too, but this is something that you can pass to your children. This is something that, you know, if you're working a typical job and you make your income and something happens to you, you won't necessarily be able to pass that on to your kids. But the work that we're doing today and helping so many people, and I will tell you, during this pandemic, the company and our organization and team has been flourishing because people are really looking for what Shaklee has as far as the products and the business, now more than ever. And this is something that we're growing now, we're building now, and we're being successful in helping so many people that you can put in your will, literally, and pass on. And there's plenty of organizations that have generational growth, passing to kids and grandkids and so forth. So this is never anything I was ever looking for, but I can't imagine Shaklee and the business and the friendships I've had in my team and outside my team ever not being in my life. So that's my story. And the next person I want to introduce you to is one of my teammates and friends here in our town of Oxford, Mississippi, where we live now. And that is Chris Coben. And she's a business leader on our team. She inspires me in so many different ways. And she's just been just a really a breath of energy in our team. And I just want to introduce her. And Chris, I'll let you take it away.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you everyone for coming tonight. This has really been great. It's good to see so many people on tonight. And like Rebecca says, I'm Chris Coben, and I'm a retired pharmacist. I ended my pharmacy career in 2013 at 63. And that was after over 40 years of pharmacy practice. And my last 18 years, I worked in a specialty pharmacy in Memphis, Tennessee. Then my husband and I both retired to the place where we met each other here at the University of Mississippi in Oxford. And we have 2 sons, and they're both married, and they each have 2 children. So when we moved to Oxford, Jack is and was an avid golfer and sports fan. He loved coming back to the university so he could watch football, baseball, basketball, soccer, softball, anything that had a ball. And but he got down here and started having a lot of knee pain. And he decided that, you know, he was going to have knee replacement surgery, and that was in 2015. So I had heard about Shaklee vitamins back in the 70s, and I met Rebecca Colby from church, and I somehow found out that she was involved in Shaklee, and I thought I wanted Jack especially to be on some really good vitamins when he had a surgery, so that he could recover quickly and have no problem. So between 2009 and 2013, I also went through the end of life with both my parents. I saw them, you know, go through broken bones and in and out of nursing homes and some dementia. And Jack and I just kind of had experienced all of that together and decided we both wanted to stay healthy in body and mind as long as we could. Because I always say that, you know, when you're 40, probably when you're 20 or 30, but when you're 40, you look at 50 and you say, oh, that's old, you know, and then when you get to 50, it's like, oh, 50 is not old, 60 is old. And when you get to 60, you say, oh, 60 is not old, 70 is old. And so now I'm 68 and Jack is 71, and we don't feel old at all. We feel very energized, and we love taking our vitamins. And we do also very much realize that our health is the most precious thing that we have. Everything else can be fine and dandy, but if you don't have your health, then life is not so good. So when we started taking our Shaklee vitamins, and we took the Life Shakes, and for me, I was taking a product we have that's called MindWorks, because I could kind of tell I was starting to get some issues with my memory, just trying to remember words and carry on a conversation with people. And so I started taking MindWorks, and I could definitely tell a difference right away with that. And we could tell a difference with taking our vitamins and shakes. As Rebecca says, I'm a cyclist. I love to ride in the MS bike ride every year. And I realized that I needed to lose some weight, because both of us were about 50 pounds overweight. And I would just make it a whole lot easier up the hills if I didn't have to carry the extra 50 pounds with me. So we definitely set a goal to decrease our, to lose weight and to get healthier. And so then we started to explore so many of the other Shaklee product lines, and just loved every product, and we wanted to buy more. And then I started talking to Rebecca, or she started asking me about the business, and I thought, yeah, that would be great if I could make enough money to pay for all the things that I wanted to get in Shaklee. So the next thing we knew, we were off to Las Vegas in 2018 and 2019, because we wanted to go to the Shaklee Global Conference, and we had such a wonderful time. It was just invigorating. We loved it. And this year we were all ready to go to Orlando, and that got, COVID-19. And so now we're just going to have a virtual conference in September, and we are excited and can't wait to go to that. But I enjoy everything about Shaklee, especially the personal development that's freely available to me. I always feel like I just was ahead of the game when COVID hit, because I already knew about Zoom and how to use it. And it's just like, I would have never known about Zoom if it hadn't been for Shaklee. I would have just been, I don't know what I would have been doing, but not Zooming. But and I have to say that when you retire, you stay busy for a while, and then you start to, like, oh, I'll just stay in the house and hibernate, or I'll just get myself in this little cocoon and stay in the house. And so Shaklee kind of forces me to, reach out to people, connect with people, follow up, ask them how they're doing, see if there's anything I can do to help them. And I just enjoy that part of it. And I will have to say that once we got the business kind of going, I realized that, we're doing okay financially. We had saved for our retirement and everything. So now I can give back, and there are, several charities that I like to give to every month when my check comes in. So it's kind of a neat way of giving back, and a different thing to do in my retirement. And so I would have to say that we realized that we have met and surpassed the halfway mark of our lives. I like to think that one or both of my sons may carry on. Hopefully one or both of them will carry on my Shaklee business after we are gone. And I just want to say thanks again for being here today and listening. And I can tell you that the stories in Shaklee are endless, more than we could ever cover in a few minutes. And many are that are a lot more exciting than mine. And I've heard several of them. And so I just think it's a great company, and I'm excited and glad that we made this decision a few years ago.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I love your story. And I was just making sure I was doing all the things with the technology piece. Did you mention that you guys earned the New Directors Conference? Did you say that? Yes.
I did not.
Let me just say it for you. Chris and Jack earned the trip to the New Directors Conference. My parents went on that trip a few years ago as well, and it's just a fantastic trip that comes early on in the compensation plan. So no, they're doing great. I want to move ahead to Angie. Angie Thomas is going to speak next, and Angie is a dear friend of mine that lives in St. Louis, and she's also a business leader in Shaklee. So Angie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Rebecca, and thanks, Chris. Okay, so I have a similar story to Rebecca in that I am also a Shaklee kid, or was a Shaklee kid. My mom found Shaklee in the early 80s. She had 3 I would say wonderful children, but they were stressing her out. And my dad traveled a lot and we didn't live near family, so she didn't have any help. So she told her friend, I'm either going to kill the kids or jump off the roof. I'm not sure. The friend said, you need to talk to Barb Lagoni, who now is a mentor to many of us. And my mom talked to her. Barb helped give her some supplements that helped her with her stress, and we all lived, and everything was good. So that was in the early 80s. And all along the way, Barb kept telling my mom, you know, you'd be really good at the business. But my mom didn't listen to her until about 2010 when she retired and started her Shaklee business. So shortly after that, I was pregnant with my second. I had, as an adult, kind of veered away from Shaklee and the Shaklee vitamins, thinking, you know, I could figure my own thing out. And I found myself just lost in the Whole Foods supplement aisle, just trying to look for like what bottle looked like it was the right thing to take. And then, you know, and then you would get sucked into researching on the internet or the magazine articles, and it was super overwhelming. And so my mom suggested, why not looking at Shaklee again? So I did. I took Shaklee for the rest of my pregnancy. We started using their cleaning products. I learned more about the company and how they stood behind their products and all of the research and care they took into their products. So I felt like, you know, game over. I don't have to stand in the vitamin aisle and be overwhelmed anymore. Shaklee's already done all that work for me. So I trust it all. And then I was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband traveled a lot for work, so it really worked best for us to have me still being at home. But I wanted to do something. I kept thinking, what am I going to do when I grow up or when my kids grow up? And every time I thought of those things, it was in the helping field, which I hadn't been in before. But a lot of those things I had to go back to many years of school or go back into debt for that schooling. And then my mom presented the idea of a Shaklee business to me, which was something I could learn to do as I worked my business while I, you know, changed diapers and fed babies. And it was a helping field. You know, you just share and help people live a happier, more fulfilling, healthier life. So I thought that was a perfect kind of balance for everything. So that was in 2011 when I started my Shaklee business. And since then I have gone through moments where the Shaklee business was several hours a week, and some moments where my life made sure that it was only a couple hours a week. But this whole time, Shaklee's always been there. And it has been a great support. A couple years ago, I had to take a couple months off from Shaklee, and really the only time I interacted with Shaklee was to put my own order in, and I still had a paycheck coming because I had customers that were so in love with the products that they were still ordering. And then when I was ready to jump back in, I jumped back in and my business is waiting for me. So that is a beautiful thing about this type of business. And another beautiful thing is recently, as probably some of you or maybe people that you know, with the coronavirus, my husband, he works retail. So his stores were closed. And so he was partially furloughed for quite some time. And he was on a good salary reduction also. So we were not planning for that. None of us were. And the Shaklee business was really helpful in giving us that comfort. I was still able to work. My kids were virtual learning, and I was still able to help them have my business, and I could continue to grow my business, all while his was not doing so great. So that was a really beautiful part of this business that I never even thought would be something I would tell people. You know, like, I didn't think that was going to be part of my story ever. And I'll just finish with one last thing that everything that Rebecca said and everything that Chris said are like awesome parts of this business for me. The part that has been, I think, something that I really, really hold on to is the community. I have met friends in this business that are on the call tonight, and more that are not, that I will be friends with for the rest of my life. These are people, this community. When a couple years ago, when I had to take some time off from the business, it was because I had a surgery that was an emergency, and I had people sending me cards and love and prayers that I hadn't spoken to in a while, but we just know each other from Shaklee, and they just rallied around me so much. It was such a beautiful thing, and I think community is something that we all really need more of, and the Shaklee community has filled me up so much that it is a huge, it's in my positive column 20 times. So that's my Shaklee story in a quick little nutshell.
Awesome. I love that, Angie. I love your story, and I hope it's been, all these stories have been impactful for you guys in some way. We have one more. Like I said, Francine Rowling couldn't be with us tonight. She double booked herself, so I'm going to share her video. This one is about 6 minutes, if you guys don't mind hanging on a little past. And we do have something that I want to share with you that is something that the company has offered for all of you tonight, in case anybody would like to do anything with this tonight and join our community. So hang tight. Let me get this shared, and tell me if you can't hear it or see it.
Hi everybody, I'm Francine, and I'm sorry I can't be with you live tonight, but this is one of the things I love most about this business is the flexibility. So I have another engagement tonight, but I wanted to share my story with you, and I'm sure the other stories that you're getting to hear live from the other women are really amazing, because they're all amazing women, and everybody has a story to tell, right? That's what makes us all special and unique. So a little bit about me. I live in Central Missouri, and I've been a Shaklee customer and business owners for over 20 years now. Actually, I was super attracted to the business before I even knew a lot about the products. And a friend of mine from high school who I had not been in touch with was doing the business, and she was having an event. And actually, I worked with her mom at the time. Talk about coincidences. So I didn't go to the event. I was not interested in going to an event. And but when she called to follow up with me, because I did order the least expensive thing in the catalog, she was telling me how she was staying home with her kids. And I was so attracted to that, because I knew her to be a very wise person, a person who didn't make decisions easily, didn't make, crazy, ridiculous decisions. I knew she loved her family and was committed to them. So I really took notice that this woman with a graduate degree saw this as a viable business. So I signed up, even before I knew anything about the products. And over the years, we've learned a lot about the products, and they've helped our family with so many different health goals and health issues. So that's been beautiful. But what has also been beautiful is the nature of this business, because what I didn't know when I signed up, thinking at the time that I wanted to be home with my kids too. My background is in psychology and social work, and I have a graduate degree as well in school psychology. And I loved my job, but I wanted to be home with my kids. But what I didn't know was that I was going to go through a really unexpected, awful, I don't know how else to explain it, divorce. And I found myself being a single mom who had primary custody of the kids, thank goodness, but still it rocked my world, and it rocked our world financially, emotionally, as you can understand. And there were a lot of things that I just wasn't expecting that happened at that time. But what was beautiful about Shaklee is I did take a step back from my business at that time, because I just was kind of shell-shocked. And I was just trying to keep things as normal for my kids as possible. So I was still working my job as a school social worker. And I took on, you guys, like sometimes, at one time I had 7 or 8 different consulting jobs going on at the same time. Now, that's wonderful because I could do those from home, but some of them did require me to leave the house too, and then I was away from my kids. But I did what I was doing to provide for my girls. I don't regret anything about that time, because it made me the person I am today. But what I do regret is that I hadn't given my Shaklee business more attention during that time, because I think it could have saved me from working 7 or 8 jobs at one time. But here's the beautiful thing about Shaklee. Even though I wasn't giving it all my time and attention, my friend Becky from high school, she helped me out during that time, and she followed up with my customers, and I was loving the products. And even as somebody on a very tight budget, like we could have qualified for food stamps. One of my jobs at school was to make sure kids had food for the weekends. And I remember going home some weekends and crying because I wasn't sure how my own children were going to have food. So things were not rosy. But during that time, I was still using especially our cleaners because they're so cost effective. And I was telling people like, hey, my kids haven't been sick, in the winters like they used to be. So people were still signing up as customers under me. Becky would follow up. I would get a check back periodically, always when I needed it most. So that was beautiful. Okay, fast forward to 2015. My youngest daughter graduated high school. She was going to college. I met the love of my life. We got married that year as well. We moved across the state for his job. And I had been in social work for almost 30 years, and I was ready for a change. So I decided I was going to do my Shaklee business full time. I knew that the business was still strong. The company was just stronger and better than I ever knew when I first signed up. And I decided I was going to go for it. I love to help people. I love to offer people resources. I love to help people reach their goals. Without health, nothing really matters, or it sure puts a damper on things, doesn't it? And during this time too, my dad was going through some health issues, which actually cost him his life. And my mom and dad went through a lot of financial problems because of my dad's health, and then losing my dad. I mean, that was traumatic to me. So that's why I see it as a mission to really be able to get out there and talk to people about their health and see if there's anything that we can do to help them improve it and prevent things like this from happening. So in that time, with me giving 100% of my attention to my Shaklee business, in conjunction with the other things I love about my life, we built our business. I now make more monthly than I did working 8 jobs at one time. I actually make more monthly than I ever did as a school social worker. Plus, I'm rewarded with things like a car. Shaklee pays for our car, so we were able to bless my mom after my dad passed away with the car we had. We've been on trips. We went on an amazing Caribbean cruise, and we're already slated to go to Costa Rica this next year. Shaklee has paid for my family, my blended family, to be able to go on vacations together. We have now moved back to where we used to live, and for several months, our Shaklee check paid for one of the house payments because we had 2 house payments. For several months. It's just been such a blessing. I just love the flexibility. I love the people I get to work with, both my customers and people you're meeting tonight on our business team. And it's just a wonderful way to do life. So if you have any questions for me, I'm glad to answer them. And I appreciate your time. Take care.
Okay, so that's Francine, and she's just a dear friend of all of ours and really fun to work with as well. So those are the stories we wanted to share with you guys tonight, and we hope that they were impactful to you in some way. I just have a couple things I want to close with, and then we will stay on if anybody wanted to stay on and ask questions. I want to be respectful of your time, and I know we're just a few minutes over already. But what I wanted to share is the company has some things that they wanted to offer. I had mentioned to some of the corporate people that we were doing this tonight, and so they said, right now, Shaklee is very committed to helping people with the financial piece because of what we're going through. And they're always been like that, but they have more things in place. They have a program that's called Cash In on Summer, so it's a wonderful time for people that might want to start their business. And this is something you can do in your part-time, your spare time, or your full-time. And when I say full-time in Shaklee, that's like 20 hours or less a week. It's really not, 40 plus hours like you would think a typical work day. The other thing about this that I forgot to say is, with Shaklee, you're having customers typically for life. So people are, using consumable products. So your paycheck, even like Angie said, when she had to take a step back, it will continue to come even if you're not physically working a month or 2 or several months. Some people have had that happen. So what the company has for us tonight that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm very excited about it, is that anybody that's interested tonight in starting their business, joining our team, which is growing and a lot of fun, I hope you can see that, with a $150 product order, and we can help you figure out what that might be if you're brand new, plus your distributor pack. And that is as low as $49.95. And one time, if you are already a member in Shaklee, it's actually a reduced fee because they take your membership fee that was part of when you first joined off. So that's $29.95 if you're currently a member in Shaklee. So it's very inexpensive to join. And for people that join with the $150 product plus the business kit tonight, you'll get a free canister, and I forgot to bring it. Does anybody have one handy? It's a canister of the Hydrate Plus, which is, do you have it, Susan? You look like you're reaching for something. Maybe not. Oh, Angie's got it. Okay, so Angie's got it on her screen. The Hydrate Plus, think of like a natural Gatorade. It's really, really a clean product for hydration, but my kids like to make popsicles out of it. It's great for hot weather. It's in our sports nutrition line, so you can do it before, during, or after a workout, or just enjoy it. It comes in orange or lemon lime. So you get that free tonight with the $150 order plus the business pack. And then we have something else that's been going on this month right now is with a $200 order, which you qualify, right? You'll be right in there with those two together. You could get a bottle of vitamin C for $5. I think that's normally a $20-some product. So those are the specials that are going on, plus free shipping on certain things. And so we can help you guys with that. So that's what's going on. Plus, anybody that joined the business right now with this Cash In on Summer, you would get a free ticket to our global virtual conference, which is in September, and you will get recordings for those of you who might not be able to listen live. It's going to be a great event with a lot of really great innovative things that are coming out. So that's what's going on. We appreciate you guys being here, and if anybody needs to pop off, please do, but if you want to stick around and ask questions, we're here to answer them if you have any for us. So feel free to unmute and ask questions if you got any for us. Or you can put them in the chat. I forgot to say that too. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask? The other thing you could do if you didn't want to ask it in the group here is you could reach out to the person that invited you, and we'll just check with you as well and answer questions. But Karen, oh no, I thought you unmuted. Sorry, I thought somebody unmuted. Did anybody else have anything? Angie, Chris, any of the other leaders on that wanted to share anything else or say anything? If not, we really appreciate your time and you guys being on tonight. And if you wanted to take advantage of what I shared, please reach out again to the person that invited you. Otherwise, thank you for being on tonight, guys, and we'll say good night. Thanks, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you guys. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks for sharing.
Bye.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Karen. Good to see ya.
You as well.